Hi, I'm Rob, and Americans are dumb, conned into dying broke. Yup, I said it. Americans are dumb, conned into dying broke. Now, I'm probably not going to win any elections saying that. I don't truly believe Americans are dumb. But Americans are dumb because they let themselves get conned every day of the week. You get up every day of the week, you go to work, you pay for car loans, you pay for mortgages, you pay for interest. And at every single level of your government, what I'm about to show you is happening. And the reason I say Americans are dumb is because you guys keep funding it. You guys keep thinking that because if you keep investing into the people who are ripping you off, you will win. Did you hear what I'm saying? You keep thinking that investing into the people who are ripping you off, that will help you. It will not. Let me show you what I mean, okay? Very clearly. I'm gonna try to keep it short so everyone can follow it. Humanoid robots can soon patrol the U.S. southern border. Okay? That's Mr. Cash Patel, right? Now, I don't know if he was an immigrant. I don't know if his parents are an immigrant. He's clearly Indian, right? So he's clearly, there's been some lineage from another country, okay? But why is that important? Because it's important because he doesn't like you. Because if he liked you, he wouldn't bring up these kind of ideas. Or anybody in the government. But they don't like you. What they like is they like you getting up every day of the week, going to work so they can take half your paycheck. That's what they like. They want you to go to work every day so you can get to work, grind it out, and they take half your money. If you earn $1 million from 20 to 30, the government will clip $500,000 of it. That is just a fact, all right? But let's talk about this. Cash Patel, AI, all these robots. Okay, well, let's take a look at them, all right? Oh, okay, well, commercial-grade security robots deployed to protect property in the U.S. typically cost $15,000 to $30,000 per unit. Okay? High-end units, these are just dogs, people. We're not even talking about things that look like humanoids. $300,000. Why is that important? Because the government wants to take your money and instead of reinvesting that money back into other Americans like Border Patrol, law enforcement, people, human beings, that will draw paychecks that they will pay for living in their community, that will have healthcare benefits that will be supplanted in those communities. No, they're going to take your money and they're going to buy machines. And then you have nothing to do but sit there and get whatever little pennies or crumbs they want to hand you. Why would I, as an American, want to pay taxes so that tax money cannot go to other fellow Americans who would be in good use to make use of that money, but I want to take all that tax money and give it to one or two robotic companies that have at the helm of those companies billionaires who just contribute to elections to keep the system in place. Now, let's move on a little bit, all right? Let's talk about Elon Musk. His department of Doge was supposed to give everybody $5,000. This is what everybody says, right? According to Google and probably any other chatbot or AI or stupid database you want to look at, Doge did not uncover systematic fraud. It probably did cover some fraud because there's always fraud in any kind of system this big. But it didn't uncover any systematic fraud. It did nothing. But Elon Musk, a non-born, non-naturalized citizens, went into the U.S. government's Social Security computers and got to see and download the last time you went to your doctor to get your butthole checked. Okay? Elon Musk knows the healthcare records of every American. Why? What did he do? Okay, so let's take it even further. Why did he ban BYD cards? Well, he didn't ban them, right? He just went to Trump and said, oh, here it is. The U.S. government implemented steep 100% tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles to block affordable competitors like BYD from the American market. while Musk himself has actually warned that the Chinese firms will demolish global rivals without trade barriers. But do you guys see that right there? Demolish global rivals without trade barriers. On another point later on, that doesn't make any sense, because in a true capitalistic market, what you want is you want those who are tasked with the most efficient, most profitable manner of getting something produced. They want that. Oops. They want that. They want that efficiency at where it is. That's why Americans don't farm anymore. Well, we do farm, but we're not the massive importers of our own grain, right? We have tons of grain and we have tons of farmers, but farming collectively as a whole, last time I checked, was part done in Ukraine, elsewhere. Why? Because it's more efficient, affordable. The economies of scale make it better. So basically, Elon Musk is saying, hey, the Chinese are going to hit economies of scale, and in a sense, they're going to create the most efficient market and make it most affordable for Americans. Well, we can't have that. No, that's not fucking good enough. We can't have that. So let's go on a little bit more and take a look at how much money Mr. Musk's companies have pulled in from your tax dollars. Let's be clear on that. Every time you invest in every single one of his companies, and I'm sorry, Elon, I really don't have a problem with you anymore. I'm glad you're out of the government, but you are just one of many that is manipulating our government. You're not even manipulating. You're just ripping off our government because the people that we send to Congress are too stupid to know any better. But your companies have pulled in at least $38 billion. What's that number sound like, people? Is that what we paid for Twitter? So listen, really, when you guys think about it, this is why Americans are dumb and conned into dying broke. Because America bought Twitter for Elon Musk. We need to just cut this out. So where do we go with it? We go with it once again back to Rob. Because I just don't believe that my money, your money, anyone's money, like, invest, I don't care. But when you say that, oh, I've got IPO and I've got SpaceX and all this crap, no, you don't. What you have is you have the American taxpayers' money in your pocket. That's what you're banking on. You know, you're not banking on a company or a baker down the street or a little manufacturer down the street that had to build their company. No. You're banking on the fact that the American government could go tax people and you can just have an unlimited bank. All right? So since that's the system we live in, that is the system we are living in today, from airlines to telecommunications to cable to TV. It's held by, one guy just nearly bought every single television station. Okay, and I bet you if we look at his money, we look at where his money comes from, he's probably another big billionaire who relies on the federal government to fund their operations. Let's be clear, America, $38 billion of your taxpayer money went to Elon Musk's company so he could get on a stage and raise his hand like Hitler. Like, that's the reality, right? So, me saying that Americans are dumb, conned into dying broke, Americans are dumb, conned into dying broke, unless I say it enough, you won't stop. Next week, it'll be a different one. And the week after that, it'll be another one. And then another one. And it's just like, when will it stop? You know when it'll stop? It'll stop when we stop people making under $500,000 stop funding into the system. If people want to fund the system, and if people want to give one company, one man, well, companies like Wegmans and Paychecks and local companies like Genesee Brewery here where I live exist without the same regress, without the same money from the federal government. They have to beg for loans. Beg. And why does our government do it? Because they killed NASA? Because they killed everything? Because they couldn't agree? Because everybody who has anything tied to the U.S. government is somebody who's going to be rich at the taxpayers' expenses. Every single member of Congress, every single government entity that touches any kind of taxation to you, the Americans, we pay for. And it's time to stop. I'm over it. I'm over it. And it's going to keep rising, and you're going to see. That's what, guys, that's what real inflation is in the real world. In the real world, your resources start to dwindle. When the resources are just given out en masse, the resource will dwindle. One day the resources will be less and less and less. And if you wonder why they're coming out with bioengineered food and, all this GMO food, it's pretty obvious. I mean, we have 8 billion people in the world. You know what I'm saying? Is there enough collective farms, pigs, and cows to really feed all those people? Probably not. Nobody grows a farm, has a garden in their backyard. Oh, that sounds so stupid, Robert. You sound like Michelle Obama. No, it's just why. If you could save a couple bucks a year on your food, why? We used to do it. Why? Why not? But what everybody does is they go out, and everyone today is going to be like, oh, look it's going to be so cool. We don't have to put Americans on the border. Just like Uber, when they killed all the cab companies in America. All those cab companies that were in your communities, owned by people in your communities, with families in your communities, with children in your school districts, with people using your roads, with those people spending in your communities. Now all that money, the delivery service still keeps moving on. It hasn't gone nowhere. It's expanded. Just the ownership goes to California, into one company's hands, Ubers or Lyfts, and they get all the money while everybody else in the world slaves downline. You have to stop. If you want to invest, go invest in people, products, and places and companies that are actually producing something with revenue, profit, income that you can see. It is time for America to stop supporting companies that turn around and get all their money from the U.S. government, which really is the American taxpayer. That's you. All the money that goes to all the billionaires for all their companies comes from you. Nobody under 500K should have to pay anymore. I'm Rob. I hope you guys have a great day and have a great weekend. Bye for now.